Hello, my name is Jacob Nolan. I'm starting this video today to kind of introduce myself a little bit better and to maybe get a little more comfortable in the front of the camera. I honestly don't even really want to be in front of the camera, but I figured throughout this path that this is the next step into really bringing this to help people the way that it needs to be brought to the people. So, let me go ahead and give you a little background on myself and then kind of explain how this is going to help you in the long run to get interested in this. So, well, I'll say that I have a lot of influence in the medical field coming from not only my family, but also through military influence and also civilian influence. Basically, I think that the biggest influence in my whole entire life has been medicine or the medical field in some way, shape, or form or the other. So, haven't had an easy life either, so I've had a lot of chance to learn to make it easier for me to progress through this life. Some of the major events that have happened are being born to people who are in the medical field, high level in the medical field, also learning about pararescue in the Air Force, and then being actually in a tenant unit that had people who have been training for pararescue, and as well as being on a base where I got any kind of help that I needed for me to kind of be successful on that path. Alright, right when I was ready to hit the go button after a deployment to Kuwait that helped me train around to do security for Kuwait City International Airport, I got in a motorcycle accident which created a frontal lobe brain injury, which some of the deficits were the language skills had dissipated, as well as my impulse control was not under a lot of control. So I had to deal with these things, as well as when that happened, the military discharged me. I have to tell you a little bit about how hard it was, but I don't want to get into all of the hardness of it. So when I was discharged, they just discharged me honorably. I didn't really get a lot of help through the medical field, as well as my parents didn't really quite understand what to think about it as well, which was very interesting since they had, one of them was influenced in neurology. So anyways, it kind of became my own responsibility. It wasn't really it was my responsibility from that moment to take care of myself and to learn how to figure out how to adapt to this life. And so, man, I guess that's kind of where Flow Health started, and I kind of want to go over this. I got a visual aid to kind of help. Alright, so what it really starts is how it worked was my mind needed to get activated, right? So I started going to school, learning about the brain and having a goal for civilian flight medicine. Alright, and at the same time, my body was doing the work to, stay fit and make sure that I was physically meeting the goals that I needed to meet through school. And my spirit was pretty much crushed, but at the same time, when you choose a path such as pararescue, you don't have to just be mentally tough or physically tough. You have to really be in it in spirit. And so the thing for me was that my father was a hospital administrator, my mother was a neurointensive care unit nurse. I had a grandfather that was in the war and was a surgeon. And I had just felt very gifted athletically and decided that that's what I want to do as the tip of my medical spear and my medical lineage as the firstborn son of the last of my lineage. And that was kind of what was going to push me through. Like, nothing to lose, everything to gain, suffer all the way, just do it. Learn. And I think that was the biggest help for me, that my brain was the type of brain where it was always constantly wanting and willing to learn. Alright, so that's kind of like the first mix of things that happen in developing this thing called Flow Health. Alright, I'm going to try to keep it short. And I appreciate your patience if you're watching this. Alright, so one of the things that kept me very able was exercise that has been the motivational factor on being able to get out of most situations that I've been in that have been harmful or not really the best path for me. That keeps my mind elevated, and also I seem to like the ability to stay on a routine such as working out like that to strengthen myself. Alright, so diet. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, "Let food be thy medicine," which is very important. We all need to get a better understanding of this. Alright, and then this is a term I've coined called stress recycling. So, once we get to the stress recycling side, we have to understand about addiction and addiction therapies and mental health. A lot of this comes from never having a normal conversation with my parents about alcohol, though this is very funny and interesting. Marijuana is classified in the same category as heroin, so to people who don't use, they don't know better, I guess, but that seemed to be the controversial part of my relationship with my parents, is that they never could give me anything but tough love as long as I drank. But because I was disconnected from myself, from any help from the military, and then through this linguistic conundrum, it just seemed like total responsibility was the only way that was going to get me through doing anything in this life. Alright, so I had to recycle all that stress of the weight of the world into something beneficial, which did allow me to throw the dice and say, look, I don't have anything to lose on going to school at all. So I did. That was really cool when you lose all fear like that. So I just had to get to a place where I could breathe. I found a place called Crested Butte and learned to snowboard. And once I got to Crested Butte, my identity started changing because I'd never been involved in any new flow activities like this. So literally, my brain started to grow new neuronal circuits to, find out and remember and start to get pattern recognition on the new environmental things that were happening in my life. And so that became my biggest stress recycling factor right there. It's just learning how to ride and ride better. Alright, so, and then some of the things that keep me on the path the most. So if you look at this, it's kind of, I'm working on it, just bear with me. So this triangle right here should be inside a bigger picture of a person, right? So if you can picture like a body and a triangle right here in the center. Alright, so that's what we need the activation part to happen, right here in the center of a person. Alright, and then we'll grab the knowledge out there of these three things and start using them as tools. Alright, and then the way that you keep going with it is, so art. So art is the most important part of all this. We have to create our new life, which is good. We want to be creative. So music is a vibrational frequency, and we're able to find our tribe a little bit better if we can incorporate these things. And you see a lot of art, a lot of new conscious art coming out of music. And then we bring it back to healthy competitive athletics, like we're doing now is a Spartan race with one of my friends who is getting into flow health. So, there's a lot more explaining to do. I hope these small little videos are going to help you understand a little bit better what direction I'm trying to go in with this. Some of these topics are going to be tough for me to discuss. I appreciate your patience with these. I'm just trying to do my best to get these out to help somebody. I know that I came from a place that was totally disconnected. I know I came from not just a hole, but underneath a hole because of some coping mechanisms that I was using that weren't healthy. And I decided just to change my life. If it was going to be all on me, I decided to make it easier on me and not as difficult. So I guess what I'd like to do is just leave you with this one last thing that helped me the most. And then from here, I'll just keep going and I hope to see flow health develop into what it should be from my mind out into this. Alright, and hopefully these videos are a part of it. But I want to leave you with the one portion of motivation that has gotten me through the most hardships I've ever had to face in my life. Standing singularly by myself, totally alone. Alright, looking for the benefit of living this life. It's a poem. It's called Man in the Mirror. And it goes, when you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just get to a mirror and look at yourself and see what the man has to say. For it isn't your parents or children or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. Some people may say you're a straight shooting chum and call you a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. For he's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest. For he's with you clear to the end, and you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test, if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of life and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartaches and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my passion and my life's work with y'all. I hope in some way this will benefit you. And if you're more interested in anything else, please give me a call. Email me. My website. Check it out. Go to www.myflowhealth.com. And if you're interested in getting some videos made of you, I'm definitely there to help you out with that. Just check out everything that you can get. And I appreciate the support. If you like these videos and look forward to more, please subscribe to my channel. That would be very important in helping me get these out and giving me a little more confidence too. So, again, I appreciate your time, and my name is Jacob. I hope you have a great evening.